This is Pete Brushy Racing. I'm here with Jessie Ringley, owner of Engineered Motorsports Solutions. Jessie and his EMS team are currently leading the charge with the quickest, fastest, most powerful EcoBoost Mustang in the world. They are currently putting down 1,006 wheel horsepower and 770 foot-pounds of torque. They're pushing 55 pounds of boost through its precision 8085 turbo and spinning that crank at 9,500 RPM. They are inching lower and lower into the eights on the quarter mile. So Jessie, we're a couple of Ford guys. You're from Tennessee, I'm from North Carolina. What in the world are we doing here at the Import Drag Race and Shootout in Norwalk, Ohio, with all these amazing DSM cars? And how have they let you sponsor an EcoBoost class at this event?
This is an event I've been coming to since I was a kid, right? So my second car I ever had was a DSM. I was already playing with turbo cars, trying to make them faster. I knew DSM was a good step because it was a great engine, great platform. I learned about this event and I came up here and I was just talking to some people. I was up here when Brent Rau went like 690s and Shepard went like 740s back in like 2003, 2005, early 2000s I was here. And like, bro, that inspired me, you know? So I went and I built my DSM. And back in the day, you know, like 2005, I had like a 550, 600 horsepower DSM, which was friggin' ungodly back then, you know? But I got into road racing for a few years and kind of dropped off the car thing. And after I hurt myself so much wrecking bikes, I come back to the cars and I knew when I got the car, it was gonna be a toy, you know? And then I started bringing this car to the event and like I watched for a couple years, you know, because they wouldn't let Mustangs in yet, right? Well, then I learned that I could come do testing tune, but I couldn't race. So I brought the car back and I did testing tune. Then after I did that for a couple of years, David Busher finally was like, hey, do you want to do a class? And he let us do a class, but they also changed it to DSM versus the world and I could enter as the world, so.
Right there.
And then like, it's surreal to me that like, there I am, because like, that 18-year-old kid's just mind blown, you know? All right. Where at?
It's not anywhere, man. No, that is super cool. Especially you've been coming to this show for so long,
yeah.
and now they've let you in here. And
to see my car on the cover of that, it blows my mind, dude.
That makes a lot of sense now.
Yesterday.
Miles an hour.
World record.
Heck yeah. So talk about your record.
So yeah, we're on new to the public, Engineered Motorsports BAF engine. The new part being that we're on the MZR edition, so no longer using an EcoBoost block, but we're using an MZR block now. Dry sleeved, our BAF gasket, aluminum rods, high compression pistons. And the big change from our 870 is that Precision sponsored us with the 8085. And like, this is pretty much the same boost level that we went 870s at with the 67. So people that wanted to know the difference, there you go. About 0.27 seconds. It picked us up almost 0.3 of a second in a quarter mile.
It's super exciting to see. You know, we've got two of the most used and abused EcoBoosts in the country. I'm doing the Autocross and time trials. You're out here ripping it down the drag strip. I feel like we're kind of ahead of the curve. Do you think someday that, you know, maybe you and I are at some sort of EcoBoost fest? You know, there's not a ton of EcoBoosts right now.
For sure, and that's what I'm trying to build here with the Shootout, right? So our turnout's up from last year. I think we got maybe 16 cars this year. And I'm just going to keep going for it, bud. And eventually I want to look around and I want to see this half EcoBoost, you know? And it really starts with me continuing to push the community, push the innovation, and show that it's possible to go fast. It's just like any other four-cylinder. I mean, people act like I break shit right and left, and I do, right? Everybody breaks shit right and left. Every Evo, every DSC, they've been calling for shit over the intercom Racer in Need. There's a whole group chat called Racer in Need, and I bet you it's had thousands of messages over the last 2 days because when you're racing Ford bangers, you're gonna break stuff, man. You just have to accept that, right, and embrace it and like make it fun. I see too many people want to go drag racing and they get too discouraged when they break stuff. They give up, and like so many times the prize is probably right here. And if they'd kept going, they'd have made it, you know?
Well, and for the guys like me too that, you know, we're still daily in our cars, and we're just not
to the level that we want to build a crazy
but
car.
But you're doing road racing. You're doing another thing.
Ultimately proven the reliability of this platform that anybody, if you can take care of the car and do the maintenance and
it's
the
all
love
about
it needs.
listening to the car and paying attention. I see a lot of times people have like, my favorite one's like, oh man, I hit 29.9 pounds of boost. It's like, bro, you might have hit 40, who knows? But they'll just keep running it like that, dude. They won't stop and say, whoa, 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 what the hell's going on? And then it's blown up, and then instead of like, oh shit, I should have paid attention, it's, oh, a piece of crap EcoBoost. You know what I mean?
And it's, I see it too with the low speed pre-ignition. People are just lugging these engines, and it's just like it's not good for any engine. So ultimately,
it's not a bad platform. It's just like all the rest. They have their problems.
If you take care of the car, though, it takes care of you. We're proving it.
You got to think, half the guys out here, you go back 15 years, they're all bitching about crank walk and 7-bolt. All the fast guys are running 7-bolts now.
Right.
You have to give the platform time to learn. The difference is, I'm trying to push and keep learning. I'm not trying to get stagnant, and that's where it kills you. Is, you know, when you just give up or you get complacent. So, well, that's the difference.
That's super cool, man. Well, I
gotta fill this nitrous bottle real quick.
I appreciate you. Oh yeah.
I need NOS.
We get
one of the big ones.
All right.
You know, let's make it 2.
Hey, Ridge, where's our scale at, bud?
It was so awesome to spend time with Jesse, his family, and mingle with the EcoBoost and DSM communities. And to think that it almost didn't happen. You see, this event wasn't even on my radar until I saw Jesse post about it on Facebook. EMS was sponsoring a bracket class and trying to get as many EcoBoosts to show up as possible. I opened my mouth and said that I'll only come up there if there's an autocross for me to show off my stuff. Sure enough, there was an autocross. I'm a man of my word, and my snarky comment had just earned me a 16-hour round trip up to the IDRC Shootout in Norwalk, Ohio. The icing on the cake was, this event was exactly a week after my 36-hour round trip to SCCA Solo National Championships. I was going to be beat as hell, have just a few days to recover while working my day job. I didn't even wash or unpack the banana stallion. Being that there's not too many DSMs in autocross, I figured I had a pretty easy shot at another FTD to add to my collection. We got our first on the Hot Rod Power Tour, much to the dismay of the Corvette community.
That means he knows what he's doing. It's pretty serious. He's got his own number.
2 hours later.
So how we looking?
You're still the fastest of the day. I'm talking to the gentleman with the yellow Mustang over there in the grid that all y'all hate right now. He's the fastest time of the day with a 21.737. And you back that up with a 21.743. So it's literally back-to-back, ridiculously consistent runs. Bunch of 21.7 and some 21.8. And then you slowed down one time to a 22 flat, and I had to call you out on it because you're slipping.
And a month later, we snagged one with our local Tar Heel Sports Car Club. That was over a year ago, and I've been hungry for another FTD to prove that me and this big banana boat with half an engine know how to get down. Friday afternoon, I showed up at the track, swapped wheels, and set up camp. And then Gottstruck showed up. It was at that moment I realized an FTD wasn't happening. My heart sank, but little did I know, I would still fall into the biggest win of my racing career. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so we can see you back for part 2. Thanks for watching.